Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial I will be covering how to work the lateral braid in the round, which is sometimes known as the Vikkel braid. It is a horizontal braid. As you can see here in this pattern that I'm working on, we've already done one, so this is what it looks like. If you are following along making the Misdirection Cowl, it's this pattern. You will know that on the first lateral braid we worked in a few stitches from the stitch marker. That is not what we are going to be doing on this round. If you haven't already, switch to your US 5s. The body of this pattern uses size US 8 needles. And for the lateral braid we drop down 3 sizes to keep the tension after the braid nice and snug. So if you haven't already, please switch down to your US 5s, or if you're just using this tutorial for a different pattern, drop down 3 sizes from whatever size that you're using. So to begin the lateral braid, we are going to increase a stitch by making a make one left. And to do that, you're going to take your left hand needle under the bar in between the stitches from the front. So you're just going to go in under that bar from the front. And then you are going to work that stitch that you just created through the back loop, which twists the stitch and creates a stitch. And now we are going to work our lateral braid. So to do the lateral braid, you're essentially doing a left twist with one extra step. For the left twist, it's worked over 2 stitches. And what you do is you're going to enter the second stitch through the back loop, pull up a loop, but don't remove the stitch. You're going to swing around and go in between the 2 stitches through the first stitch and pull up a loop, and then you're going to slide both stitches off. On this lateral braid row, I like to give like a nice little tug. And then so that's the left twist. So to do the lateral braid, you're just adding 1 extra step. You're going to take the first stitch on the right hand needle and you're going to slip it purlwise back to your left hand needle. And now we're ready to do the next lateral braid. So you're going to do the left twist. You're going to go in through the second stitch in the back, pull up a loop. You're going to swing around, go in between the stitches, enter the first stitch through the front, pull up a loop, and then you're going to slide both stitches off. Give a gentle tug, slip the first 1 stitch purlwise back over, and now we're ready to do it again. We're going to go in through the second stitch through the back. You're going to wrap around and go in between the stitches through the front, and you're going to slide them both off, and then slip 1 stitch purlwise back to your left hand needle. And that's how you do it. You can see after just doing a couple stitches, the horizontal braid is already starting to show. So I'm going to do a couple more with you, and then I will meet you back around at the beginning of the round. So you're going to enter the second stitch through the back loop and pull up a loop. Enter the first stitch. You're going to go in between the stitches and enter the first stitch through the front loop. Pull up a loop and then slide them both off. Give a gentle tug. And you're going to slip 1 stitch purlwise back to your left hand needle. You're going to go in the second stitch through the back loop. You're going to wrap around and go in between the 2 stitches into the front of the first loop and knit it, and then slide both stitches off. Give a gentle tug, slip 1 purlwise back. And you're going to continue to do that until you're back around to the stitch marker, and I will join you there. Okay, so I'm back around to the beginning of the round, and you will need to work because remember we made a stitch at the very beginning of the round, so you will need to work that last stitch. Let's work that last lateral braid with the make one that we made. Okay, so because we made one at the beginning of the round, we need to decrease one to keep our stitch count and to join. So to join your lateral braid, you're going to need to cut a tail. I do about 6 inches. And we're going to thread that tail on a tapestry needle. And so we added a stitch, and now we need to decrease a stitch. So to do that, we are going to drop the last stitch that we created and gently pull it out. So now we are left with just that braid on top. And how we're going to join this is you're going to take the tapestry needle and you're going to feed it through the back of the loop. So this is the front, this is the back. You're going to feed it through the back of the loop. And then you're going to find your first lateral braid and you're going to go under both legs of the V with your tapestry needle from the bottom to the top and pull it in. So we're going to go back into that same loop from the front to the back, and we are going to pull it tight to connect your lateral braid. It is nearly invisible. And then put your stitch marker back on. So if you are working the Misdirection Cowl, we will now be moving on to the right twist spiral. If you're not working the Misdirection Cowl and you're interested in the pattern, link directly to where you can get the pattern will be in the description box. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial.